Cube.
Hey, I'm Brian Woods. Welcome to the Content Cube.
I am Jake Mosher.
I'm Zach Holstein.
And this is episode 6. We made it, folks. We're here. It's happening.
You know what they say, Brian? If you make it to episode 6, you're in. You're in the big leagues.
I'm so fucking excited for 7, Zach. I'm so excited.
I'm personally excited for 8. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about 8.
Nervous about 8?
Yeah.
That will be a post-Avengers. We will live in a post-Avengers world.
We can all agree 9's going to be dog shit. 10, though.
10 is our magnum opus, Brian.
Speaking of Marvel, owned by Disney, you know what else is owned by Disney?
Fox?
I was going to go with Star Wars, but fake you out with the Fox.
I was going to say the Notre Dame Cathedral. Because Disney is apparently paying for all of that now.
Oh, I didn't see that.
If only they cared about people. Rest in peace, Notre Dame Cathedral.
There's some theories that they're gonna put some of their own content in the stained glass windows of the Notre Dame.
I dig a Mickey Mouse giant
Stained glass window.
is blessing Mickey Mouse.
Put Mickey on the cross, Brian.
That's a controversial take. I don't know if I would say Mickey needs to be on the cross. Some people would argue Jesus didn't need to be on the cross. Nonetheless,
whoa, we're getting topical on the
Star Wars
here.
trailer.
Are we finally going to touch the one that we talked about way back in the day? The Is God Real talk.
Nah, back.
We finally going to touch it?
That's episode 100. Okay, guys. Star Wars trailer. A teaser, if you will. I actually agree that this one is a teaser, because I don't know what this movie is.
This is definitely a teaser trailer.
It's long,
This
but
is
I
the
don't know what it
definition of a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
It did its job. I was like, oh, episode 9's coming out, and now I'm like, ooh, episode 9. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do. I'm still concerned, especially since Ryan Johnson straight out came out and said, yeah, I'm not going to be upset if J.J. Abrams retcons Rey's parents, which means that they did not define the plot when they planned this trilogy. That means they've been going movie by movie, and that is a concern.
We almost knew that, because apparently there was always the whole big rumor out there that J.J. Abrams hadn't an outline for like whatever the second film in the trilogy would be, and then Ryan Johnson tossed it to the wind.
Yeah.
And while I'm not a Last Jedi hater, that's a discussion for a different day, because I know that's just like a can of worms we could always open up on any episode.
I've never seen it.
Have you really never seen it?
I've only seen episode 4, episode 7, and the first 15 minutes of episode
We're going to have to go through all of them before the new one for
We
you.
definitely should.
Wow.
I want to watch episode 8 again. I don't feel the need to watch any of the others. Mostly because I've seen them a lot.
I kind of want to see them, but they're old, so they're.
What did you think of the teaser, Zach?
Who was that old guy laughing at? Just kidding.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Was that a big deal for people?
That's
yes,
a huge
that
deal.
was
Because it makes
the
no
deal as you could
sense.
get in a teaser. Now, here's the thing. My base level theory on why they decided to bring the Emperor back is, and it's not like my theory, I'm sure this is what everyone assumed, is after like the wave of people hating Last Jedi and Disney Star Wars films in general, they wanted to win back that crowd, that prequels loving, originals loyal crowd.
The memers are in.
What's up?
The prequel meme people are in.
I see. They brought him back because they love the Emperor. I love the Emperor. It's a fun character, especially in the prequels, because he's just very memeable, as you would say. I hope they bring him back in a way that, since we're tossing the word retcon around, that doesn't retcon episode 6, which, Brian, as you could probably assume, resulted in the death of the Emperor.
Can he not be a Force Ghost? I don't know the rules.
I've never seen a Sith Force Ghost.
He could be, but that would be a really, really weird way to tease him and have him not really be... Because, I mean, Force Ghosts exist, but they can't really do anything. They can kind of just talk to you. So to have him just exist as someone to talk to seems like a really... Maybe that's something you put in a trailer or save for like a special thing in the movie, not that you tease in the trailer.
Yeah, like Red Skull.
Well, kind of. Like teasing him. Yeah. Like there's a reason they didn't put Red Skull in any of the promos or anything, because he's just there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like putting him at the end of the teaser trailer and like the screen is just black obviously hints that he's going to have a big role. So I don't know. I saw Kathleen Kennedy apparently said that this has been like him coming back was planned. Like this
I
wasn't.
saw that. Yeah,
I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but it might be.
Smelled like BS to me.
It was in George's books.
I genuinely think
George Lucas had some dumb ideas for Star Wars that people with more logical minds decided, hey, you have a cool base here. Don't do any of that stupid shit you want to do, though.
they made some great toys.
Oh,
so.
boy, the merchandise, Brian. The prequels merchandise. I can't complain about it. I was a big consumer of it.
Big Jar Jar fan?
Back in the day? Yeah. Yeah, you bet your ass I was.
Is there an action figure of Jar Jar diving underneath the tank?
I don't know how you could make that action figure, but...
I have a guess Ray will in some way, shape, or form be related to him.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Ooh.
That's kind of.
I would guess it's.
Can't imagine him ever having sex with anyone, though, Jake.
Well,
that's the flaw.
Maybe
Clone.
young Palpatine at some point had a kid, and then
Back in the
that
day.
kid
Have you
would
seen
be
Logan?
the
His
father
youth.
and or mother of Rey.
Have you seen Logan?
I have seen the
What
film
if she's like a clone?
Ooh, okay, I just came for something right now, and I think, because there are two things. Apparently, in the expanded universe of Star Wars, before they retconned, like, all the stuff that came with the older movies.
They're throwing the word retcon around.
I know.
With
In the books, apparently Emperor Palpatine didn't actually die. He had, like, the power to pass his spirit onto other people.
Like
and
Darth
people,
Plagueis. Like Darth Plagueis.
Yes, and people think he passed the spirit on to who died abruptly in Episode 8. What's his name?
Luke?
No. The dude who everyone thought was going to be super powerful and he just dies.
Snoke.
Yes, Snoke. Thinks he was in Snoke and now he's going to be in someone else. Something I just thought of, which I think makes more sense.
What if he's in Rey? Whoa. That would be
It'd be
cool.
fucking
That would
bizarre.
explain why
Actually, you know
she's
what?
so
That
good.
would be cool. I would be down for that.
They would have had her be like more evil at the end of 8 then though. Because people think like the two arcs could be it's like someone who was born with a bad past is good, and someone who's born with a good past turns bad, aka Kylo Ren being the bad person and Rey being the good. But it would make sense without having to get rid of Rian Johnson's, who was Rey's parents. Basically, at some point, Palpatine had a kid who just was like orphaned and was a nobody and married a nobody, and their kid is Rey. So technically, it doesn't get rid of it. She still was, like, to that person's knowledge, a nobody.
Right.
But the father of the nobody was someone important.
I saw a theory online that said maybe the plot line of the movie, hence the title, Rise of Skywalker, is about like Rey and whoever trying to figure out a way through the old ancient Jedi texts that were in the Millennium Falcon at the end of Last Jedi to find a way to resurrect Luke, who was in like the Force plane or whatever.
God. It's like
And
Flash being in the
We're
space
getting
force.
some really hardcore lore
Yeah.
if this happens.
And then
my
through
God.
that damaging of the barrier between alive and dead, the Emperor finds his way back. That's the theory that I saw.
It's only one
Seems
film.
pretty hokey.
Wait, I was going to say, or hint to later, this reminds me of Game of Thrones. It is a lot of ground to cover in a very short amount of time.
You kind of the thing with Game of Thrones is they weren't really hindered to a 3-film trilogy format. They chose to do 7 and 6
Oh, yeah,
episodes, which
yes.
is disappointing.
I don't know why they chose that. But
2
it's-
10-season episodes would have been
But that's
perfect.
still what I'm saying is like, yeah, Game of Thrones limited
We
itself.
can talk about that. I have a lot of stuff
Yeah.
to say about how
But-
Game of Thrones is.
But Star
now.
Wars did the same thing, and like it is probably gonna be a 2.5-hour movie to cover a lot of ground. Because 8, like, especially with them introducing Palpatine, like without introducing him, I was like, okay, maybe you can finish that. By introducing him, like the last movie did not end on a note. They are like the rebellion is failing, so you have to somehow bring it back.
They got the
And-
hope, though. You know, they emphasize that they got kids who can force grab broomsticks now. Who
But I
knows?
feel like that's like I felt like a lot of things in 8 are just things Rian Johnson set up for his own trilogy.
Right. I agree. So, I mean, thinking about where they could go from here, there's no other planned Star Wars movies, and this is like the end of the Skywalker
There are
saga.
planned Star Wars movies.
They're planned
They're
with.
doing another trilogy.
They're doing 2 new trilogies, actually, is what I've heard.
Yes,
The
but
Game of Thrones writers are writing one,
and then Rian Johnson.
and Rian Johnson is writing one.
So I read an article. Rian Johnson sat down with the people of Game of Thrones, D.B. Weiss and whatever Beinhoff, however you say his name, sat down with Kathleen Kennedy, and they all sat down together to plan the next 10 years of Star Wars movies, which to me is a good thing because they actually sat down together, planned it out together, and they know not to release one every year.
Jake, here's a hypothetical for you. How much money would you have paid to be in that room during that meeting?
Like, do I have an infinite amount of money? Like, I'm very rich, so I can give money, or is
You're
this like
Bob Iger.
I have his money, or is this he probably could have just asked? Or do I have like the money I have now? So like
The money you have now, because if we give you hypothetical,
You're
money,
gonna need to
this-
ask your parents for an assist on this one.
but they probably understand.
Money I have now plus a little parents assist, $10,000. I wouldn't get in, but like in terms of realism amount I can get from my parents and what I have.
In the scenarios, once in a lifetime, you might get an internship out of that sit down. You can be like, hey, I don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay me. Just let me be there. You know, please,
I would love to be a potential leak.
Mr.
Iger.
Ryan Johnson. Fun fact about Ryan Johnson. I don't know if I've brought this up before. Liked my tweet.
What?
Oh, I think I knew that.
What tweet?
Ryan Johnson liked my tweet.
What tweet?
A little bit of a
Let
kiss
me
up
guess.
tweet.
Yeah, you said you liked episode 8 and didn't hate it like everyone else.
It was New Year's Eve. I was in a great mood, as they say, and I tweeted at Ryan Johnson at like 1:30 a.m. I said, "Hey, at Ryan Johnson, wait a minute. How was it? It was Happy New Year at Ryan Johnson. I thought Last Jedi was cool." And I turned off my phone and went to sleep, and I woke up with Ryan Johnson liked your tweet.
That's very nice, Zach.
And I said, Mama, Papa, look. Oh, I was so excited. I showed the whole family.
Do you think if I tweet that right now, he would like my tweet?
Happy New Year,
Or
Ryan
you just
Johnson.
he'll tweet it. You're just copying Zach.
You're just copying my good old
I
pal
dead
Zach.
serious. I will tweet at him right now. And
You
see
know,
if he
and
likes
just
it,
showing
but-
how little parents understand Twitter. My mom immediately was like, Zach, that's amazing. You know what you should do, Zach? You should ask for an internship. I was like, Mom, that's what a great idea.
I wish life worked like that. I've had people like my tweets.
You just
It's
go to
like,
the
hey,
internship vending machine and click A2 and get Ryan Johnson Star Wars internship. Fall into my hands.
Speaking of the Star War, you guys watch the Star Wars Fan Fest thing?
Star Celebration.
Yeah.
I watch some stuff. I watch the stuff about Galaxy's Edge because I'm hyped for that, and I watch stuff on the video game.
I watched it for the video game thing, and I noticed that Geico seemed to be sponsoring the entire fucking event.
Yes.
So every trailer had like a Geico
The
thing. at
Geico
bottom.
Gecko was there
And
in
I'm like,
present.
I hate that.
He's part of
you're-
the Star Wars lore now.
Never
And
been
I was
a fan of the Geico Gecko.
I was confused because it's Disney. They don't need Geico to fucking pay for this spot. You know what I mean? Like, this was very impure. Did you watch like the TV show stuff?
I mean, Disney gives much money.
I mean, I
to
saw the
Canada.
Mandalorian set photos.
Yeah.
And I heard that
I'm
the
very
Mandalorian.
excited
I heard
for
the
that.
Mandalorian. Someone said that it's like the future of Star Wars.
Carl Weathers is there.
Carl Weathers was there, and you know they got the big lead actor. I mean, he's a cool lead actor. He's from like Game of Thrones and Narcos.
They got
and
good
Kingsman.
actors. Apparently,
Carl
Pedro
Weathers is in
Pascal.
Game of Thrones?
No, Pedro Pascal is like the main character.
they have some top-notch directors doing the episodes.
Yeah,
John
Bryce-
Favreau's writing it.
Yeah,
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Disney.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, they got
Disney's ramping up for their Disney Plus thing.
Disney Plus is.
I'm buying it. I'm getting it.
Gonna get it.
It's $7. That's like the cheapest streaming service.
Mandalorian's
it's
gonna be so
super fucking
good.
cheap. The Simpsons are there now.
The live action Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, I can
Ryan?
find. I'm.
Me and you were
What?
just talking about how excited
Wait,
we were
what?
for the live action.
Wait, they're doing that?
yeah,
They're doing it?
yeah,
Tessa Thompson in dog form, right?
in dog form.
No one told me they were. Is it a TV
not my
show?
favorite.
No,
not my
it's just a
favorite
movie.
Tessa Thompson.
Is
form,
it a
but
straight
I'll take
to-
it.
It's like where Dumbo should have gone.
Like it's a Disney Plus exclusive?
Yeah. My guess is in the planning of, we're doing all these live action movies, they realized, we're doing Disney Plus. This movie is probably just lower budget and lower. It's probably
It wasn't gonna get a box office haul.
Well, like, I mean, look at the biggest fault of the last two Disney live actions, which was Beauty and the Beast and Dumbo, is that the movies that they're basing it off of are like 70, 80 minutes long, and they're making 2-hour movies.
Yeah.
So with Disney Plus, you can justify to people this is an hour and 20 minute, hour and a half movie.
on the record.
It's fine.
It was cute, Brian.
I didn't watch it.
I don't know why I assumed you did.
They're also I saw that Clone Wars trailer, despite not caring about.
I'm gonna watch the
I'm
show
confused.
eventually.
You're gonna
I
watch
know
it?
I'm
I've
gonna
heard
watch
Did the
it.
show really not end? I thought it
No.
ended.
Ended abruptly.
No, it
Okay.
ended because it was either I don't know. It was either not getting.
It was canceled.
It was either not getting the views.
They
it needed.
released. It was canceled halfway through making season 6.
Yeah, no, it was
And then they
either-
released season 6 episodes as like the lost missions.
Yeah, it was either like it wasn't doing the numbers or Disney bought Star Wars. It was one of those.
It was around
things.
that time.
Yeah, I think Disney bought Star Wars and they're like, shut it down. Sorry, Cartoon.
Yeah,
Network.
this was
'Cause
like
it was a
5
Cartoon
years
Network
ago,
show.
right?
It was a
Yeah.
Cartoon Network show.
Back-
It was a show that I always heard was good, and then as time went on, I've matured more, and I've heard it's actually really good.
I heard
I've heard
Rebels
that.
is also good.
You see, I just don't have time to get to all of it, but I
I
know
know.
if
I-
I'm watching one of them,
that's-
I'll watch
that's-
Clone Wars
that's
because
just
that's the one that's
content in
actually getting
general.
rebooted.
I saw some Clone Wars as a child. Good stuff.
There's,
I thought it was
there's
generally
too
what it
much
was.
stuff to consume.
There's
I
a
saw
lot of-
Grievous in that. It was the first time I ever
A
saw
lot of the
Grievous.
lore. I love the lore.
Speaking of Celebration, I don't know if you watch it, Zach, but I know you did, Brian. What did you think of the game? The story?
I was disappointed that there was no gameplay because I'm very. Did you watch it, Zach? They're doing
The Star Wars game, the
Yeah.
EA Star Wars game, where they
Yeah.
were bragging about not putting
That's so
loot
funny.
boxes in and stuff. Like they were
It's just
bragging
like,
about putting
no,
the things that they
boggles my
always.
mind.
Yeah, no,
Put in
there's
the
no
games.
multiplayer. No, there's no microtransactions. No, we will not be adding them.
No, there's no
and I'm
fun.
like, you guys did this.
Yeah, and then you had Amy Hennig, who was the head of the last Star Wars game that got canceled, single player, come out and go, "Yeah, I don't really know what changed." She's
Yeah.
like, I guess 2 years passed, so I guess they could have changed their mind, but like, I don't know why my game wasn't okay to just be single player.
Honestly,
I
okay.
wonder
So
if
there's
it
like the
was-
2 more recent Battlefront Star Wars games,
Yeah.
right? There was one from like 2015,
Yeah, first
and
one.
then one like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
2018.
2018.
Yeah. Okay. So I
That
used to
one.
play the first one, the more
Yeah.
recent
First
first one.
First one's fun.
It was really fun, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
The
they're
2015
updating it for one."
It's
yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
they're updating it a couple years later with more sequel trilogy
Yeah.
stuff and
Yeah.
probably better graphics, I assumed, and I
Yeah.
assumed better gameplay.
Yeah.
And I got it for Christmas, and Brian, I was pissed. The game sucked. The
It's good now.
gameplay sucked.
Game's better now.
It's apparently way better now.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got my
I
brother
haven't played
got
it in, like,
for me
6
for
months.
Christmas.
No, like here's the thing. Like they basically rolled it all back. Like they changed the progression system. Like it was on sale for like $7 recently.
Yeah,
And me and my
I
friends
have it.
got it.
It's
and
fun.
I think it was like their reaction to like when I reviewed One Piece World Seeker, where it's like, oh wow, it's making the noise. It's making the Star Wars noise. You know what I mean? When you shoot the gun, it does the noise.
Yeah.
And it's
I
doing,
did notice that.
Yeah,
I
does,
like that.
Like it does what you need it to.
They
You
got
know what I mean?
characters saying lines
Yeah.
when they drop into a map.
The campaign is not great. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone knows that, but like the multiplayer, they fixed the progression system. They fixed how you get items. It is
Yeah.
fun now.
People
Did
say
they,
a lot
did
more.
they add a because there was like a survival mode in the first
Yeah.
the 2015 one where you go like rounds like you would do in a Call
Yeah.
of Duty game, and
Yeah.
that was really fucking fun. And then I looked, lo and behold, they said, you know what, you like that one? Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna drop kick it out of here. It's not in the second one, guys.
I don't know.
It could be
Yeah.
there now. I don't know. They changed a lot about that.
I was pissed.
They did an apology to her.
They did an apology
Like
tour.
they did a whole like.
They didn't invite me,
no,
Brian.
at E3 they said sorry.
Kathleen Kennedy didn't personally apologize to me.
I don't think Kathleen Kennedy did shit on that game.
They came out on stage at E3 and they said, "Sorry guys, we're gonna make it better."
Yeah,
So maybe
they know it's bad.
Maybe when
Or
Star
was
Wars
bad.
season's ramping up, Zach, you might want to go back. To
Star Wars season.
But
Can't wait.
this game, I'm excited for it. I agree. Gameplay was. I wish they would have shown it. That's what I thought they were going to show, but they're saving it for EA Play during E3. I'm
Okay.
excited. Cameron Monaghan is that his name?
Yeah, he's
the
good,
actor.
yeah.
He's really good in Gotham. I thought the character was going to look a little more. I mean, it kind of looks like Cameron Monaghan, but it looks different
His
enough
hair.
where it just looks like boring white guy.
Yeah.
Like they didn't make him look all that special. The story itself looks cool, but they didn't show anything worlds-wise, weapons-wise, enemy-wise that looks all that exciting. But the thing like I got most out of it was when they were talking about gameplay, just talking about it, and Cameron Monaghan interrupted the developers and the head director and was like, I've played it. It's like, as a non-developer, it's like, it feels fucking fantastic. And I was like, coming from someone who's not a developer, like, who's just played on the outside, I trust you because he said it was punchy and weighty, and
Yeah.
that's what matters.
There
so.
was wall running in that trailer for a little bit. Like it wasn't gameplay, but I'm like,
It was in the
they
game.
did Titanfall. Respawn has not done me wrong yet. I'm excited to see what they can do with a single player game after Titanfall 2.
I'm
Titanfall 2 is
interested
a
to
really
see,
single player.
because I mean, this is what matters for me for third person action, is like, just where the camera's going to be.
Yeah.
Because there's God of War third person, then there's like,
New God of War third person.
yes, then there's new God of War third person, and then there's like like I have a feeling it's gonna be more like Kingdom Hearts type third person where I mean that's the best I can come up with. Like where you're like you're not top down, but you're also not over the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like this. I don't know.
Like Devil May Cry
yeah.
almost.
Yes, and I hope it's more like God of War. I think it's just
Yeah.
more cinematic that way, but I don't know. We'll see. I think Dark Phoenix is cinematic.
That is a movie I forgot about we were going to talk about.
Yeah, we can't talk about
what do you
that
think
one.
of that
The
hot
supposed
trailer?
end to the Fox X-Men movies.
I mean, it is the end.
think-
Fox
I don't
is
know.
old.
New Mutants is hovering around somewhere.
And
Someone has New Mutants.
It's coming out at the end of this year.
Is it?
I'll give you a date
Someone
right now.
has a floppy disk with the New Mutants footage on it somewhere.
August 2nd, 2019.
I forgot.
That movie is not going to be promoted.
I forgot it was coming out.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
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 I just saw it 2 hours ago. The New Mutants reportedly delayed again.
This movie's not coming out.
You guys talk about Dark Phoenix while I find
I don't
this.
think that trailer looked very good. But
Really?
I don't have taste. I
Well, do
genuinely...
you like the other X-Men movies?
I like them well enough.
Quote, Maisie Williams, who's from Game of Thrones, who's also starring the New Mutants, said, "Who knows when the fuck that's gonna come out? Hopefully this interview will make everyone hurry up a little bit." So even the cast is
There was a trailer for it a year and a half ago, Brian.
The issue with New Mutants and why I think it will never come out is that it's not mainline X-Men. It's like lore building. But the issue is that they're just going to destroy all the lore. Like,
it's
immediately.
currently on schedule for August 2nd.
Like,
and
that-
it hasn't officially been released.
That movie's all lore building, right? It's just like, oh, I want your
I mean,
kids.
it looked like it was advertised as the first ever like horror
Yeah.
And
X-Men
it looked
movie.
decent.
Yeah.
And I thought it was intriguing, at least intriguing.
Yeah,
I
thought
like
it was
its
cool. It's like,
cast.
oh, like a cool like.
It's got that cokehead from Stranger Things.
Yeah, Charlie Heaton,
Yeah.
Anya
Tried to bring
Taylor-Joy.
coke into an airport or something.
I think Dark Phoenix looks fine. I think
Yeah.
it looks like the other X-Men movies, which are also fine.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
mostly.
okay, let's generalize
Days of
here.
Future Past. Days of Future Past. Good.
Are they not? But all the other
Some
movies
are better
fine.
than fine. Some are less than fine.
Which movies are better than fine?
I would say X-Men 2 is better than fine.
Go
I
back
would
and watch
say,
it.
I did. Multiple times.
When's the last time you watched it?
You remember the scene where the SWAT team's kicking down the doors and Wolverine kills like 9 guys?
I'm juggling
No.
a bit.
The scene's awesome.
I'm juggling
No, okay, that was a bad one.
a bit.
Last Stand is less than fine. So I would call that a less than fine one. I thought First Class was better than fine. And
I'm looking up
And I
who's
thought-
directing Dark
I thought
Phoenix.
First Class.
Days of Future Past was better than fine.
You know what? I think just Apocalypse.
And don't even get me started on how good Logan is.
No,
That doesn't count.
that it doesn't count.
Really?
That's not an X-Men
Okay,
movie.
it's like I would
An
say.
a non-X-Men movie starring Professor Xavier.
Okay,
and,
Doesn't-
and
here's what I'm
Wolverine.
gonna say. Okay, no, Logan
And those
counts.
are the only two.
And that guy that hates sunlight.
I think First Class is good. I think Days of Future Past is good. I think Apocalypse. I could swear I've seen Apocalypse.
Apocalypse was.
I don't know if it's.
If we're gonna label an X-Men movie as fine, that's the one you want to slap.
That movie is
label on.
not fine. That movie is bad. First date with my ex-girlfriend.
That's just bad strategy on your part.
Okay, that doesn't even do with it, but like, it was the first time I came out of a movie and I was like, a superhero nonetheless, and like, I didn't even enjoy myself. Like, that was just bad. It's a bad movie.
There was one part I thought was cool where Magneto, like, in a rage, brought down the entire concentration camp where he was tortured. That part was pretty cool. He brought it all down. But if I'm thinking of other cool parts, I'm not, because I can't think of any.
This dude has not directed anything ever.
Don't you love that? A clean slate.
He
I don't
wrote
know.
The ultimate tool for a master thief with a record, as they say in Batman.
Oh, this is great. This is really good. He wrote the screenplay for X-Men Apocalypse. It's a really good track record. And the screenplay for the 2015 Fantastic Four movie.
Is this Dark Phoenix?
Yes.
Okay. I don't
Hey,
think it's gonna be good.
you know what I hear when I hear that? He's due. He's due for something good.
Which one did you say was the good X-Men 2? Oh yeah, he wrote X-Men The Last Stand.
Not a fan of that one.
So, this movie is
That
not
one wasn't
looking
my
great.
You mean the first time they tried the Dark Phoenix storyline?
He's been a producer on the good X-Men movies, but a producer only means so much. You're really just giving money to
Yeah,
the movie.
Now that's the New Mutants director or the Dark Phoenix?
This is
director?
all Dark Phoenix.
Can you guys imagine the outrage if this movie ends on like a
Closer.
kind of an open.
It's-
Anything could happen.
I
now,
assume didn't it get delayed? I'm
It got
assuming if it
delayed.
got
It's-
delayed, they fixed something
It
with
is.
this ending.
What I think is weird is that like it's just a weird ending. It's a weird ending
Yeah.
for these movies.
It looks like a dark ending. It looks like they are not. It's not going to be a happy ending. It
no
doesn't
one's
seem like a
no one's
movie that can
connected
have a
to these
happy
characters all that much.
yeah,
so.
like they've been.
ending. I don't know.
retconned a couple times.
I like Michael Fassbender's Magneto a lot.
Yes,
I'll be
Seems
honest.
great.
I do.
Seems
That is the
I
main
honestly
reason why I
enjoy-
would want to see this movie.
I enjoy the head Professor X
James
as well.
McAvoy.
Yeah.
James McAvoy's Professor X is pretty cool.
Well, Jennifer
He's
Lawrence
bald
is
now.
dying
That seemed
as
pretty
the
obvious from the
trailer
trailer.
shown. So
And she seemed pretty. She seemed like she phoned it in pretty hard in Apocalypse.
God, that movie's bad.
Oscar Isaac is the bad guy, Brian.
That's what sucks. Is I went in, I was like, oh, he's the bad guy. We're gonna get a really cool villain. I was
Because
like,
he's
oh,
so cool
you can't
in
tell that he's
everything
Oscar
else.
Isaac. This is just bad.
He is so cool in everything else he's in.
When's this movie come out?
Dark Phoenix, June 21st, I think.
Oh God.
Be interesting. I'm really excited to see what this movie's like.
Yeah, I'm curious to see them.
You know what I would say? Cautiously optimistic. Because I was a big fan of the new trailer today. More so than I was over the previous trailer.
something-
I'm
about
excited
it.
to see Sansa and something else. So
Something about it I didn't like, but I can't put my finger on it.
I mean, it just has the feel of an X-Men movie, like an apocalypse movie, which is not a good.
So, stay woke, everybody. Stay vigilant.
Oh yeah,
Endgame spoilers are out there. I saw on the Marvel Studios Reddit, it's like, "Hey guys, leaked scenes." I'm not going to say any of them. I'm not going to say any of them here. But it was like, okay, I got to do intel. I got to find out if the ending's out there. I got to warn people. And before I even clicked on it, like the text preview said like a thing. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
so I'm assuming
That's cool as shit.
Is this some dickbag at Disney, like low level, like somehow got? Because who else finds this footage? Like,
WikiLeaks.
No, it's some. No, I think I don't know. I didn't watch the
Snowden.
Snowden.
He got
This is why
the
Assange
ending.
got kicked out of the embassy. But
That's it.
I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know if it was like filmed off a phone or
Yeah.
if it's just like MP4s.
It's just guy like being real careful. And
they're
the
they're
screen.
sitting in the office and they're all huddled. And he just like sticks his phone.
Flash
out
comes
above
on his
the-
phone.
I was like,
God
fumbles
damn it!
That's what happened with that Harry Potter game.
Where is that? We won't
you
talk
see
about
that?
that.
Whatever. Don't worry.
I mean, that is so. I am so far from the target market of Harry Potter
Okay.
video games.
There's a Harry Potter video game. They're
it
showing it like a mall apparently.
Can you
and
play
like a
Quidditch?
test group.
Probably.
And
EA
it's like
Sports. It's in the game.
It looked cool and
full
like there's
budget,
no,
beautiful, but some dude just like filmed it on his phone.
And like there's no one said anything about it. It's been like 6 months. I don't know. But yeah, so those spoilers are out there. Stay woke.
I'm scared.
I went on Twitter. I blocked a lot of words I felt would like be dangerous. I didn't block like words like wasp because she has a show, I think.
No, she does not.
Not
well,
yet.
I don't think she's gonna die. Is what
That's
I'll
true.
say.
I
Because
blocked-
she's already dead, Brian.
You're right. I blocked like the main cast.
have you guys seen?
They're staying
Have
dead.
you guys seen the video of what's the actor? Oh, Chadwick Boseman. When they're asking him about Endgame,
Yeah.
and she's like, "So like, how does it feel to be such a big cultural moment?" He goes, "I'm dead." And they ask him like 6 questions. He goes, "I'm dead. I'm dead." It's every single question. It's really funny.
Yeah, so stay woke. They're out there. Like the spoiler I saw was not like the ending. I don't know if the ending's out.
It wasn't
there.
exactly the end game, you'd say.
You're right, Zach. That is the thing.
Brian took that pun with disdain. He was not a fan.
That's the high level content that you can expect.
But
on
yeah,
content
the spoiler
tier.
I saw was like, this is not game changing for me, but it is very cool.
I don't know what to do because I had Star Wars Episode 7 spoiled to me on an Instagram comment. And like you said, block things on Twitter, but no one I follow is going to like or retweet a spoiler. The only way I'd see it is on a reply, and I'm just going to avoid scrolling through replies of tweets that I don't care
Replies
about.
just show up now.
But I don't follow. But replies of people I follow, not
Yeah.
replies of people I don't follow, don't pop up. And as long as I don't go in YouTube comments, I should be fine.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I have to stay off my phone for a week. I don't want to do that.
You know, it's a startling development. I had never encountered this before. People fucking live tweet Game of Thrones like it's a sporting event.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if I'm watching it later,
Okay.
No, yeah, you can't be on Twitter. I'm
Like,
not
at
touching
all.
my phone on Avengers Day. Thursday, my phone is not.
I
I'm
have
seeing
a
it
9
Friday.
o'clock. I have
So
a.
I'm
Oh, you're
like-
done. Oh yeah, you're
I'm
done.
fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
It's-
I'm seeing
you, know,
9.
you can't be on your phone all
Hopefully,
Thursday.
the people who see like the 6 o'clock are getting out of the theater just as I'm starting mine, so I'll have my phone off right when they turn theirs on.
Honestly, we need to be off our phones Monday because
You know
that's
what?
when the movie premieres.
Wait,
for
what?
critics.
Oh,
It
I
premieres
can't-
for critics
oh.
on Monday. Reviews come out Tuesday.
Right. That's what I did last
So
time.
you really
critics
have
don't
Tuesday.
put it out.
No,
They
they
don't. But there's the one or two critics that put stuff in there.
No,
And
do
that
you know
goes-
what I did, Zach? Do you know what I did last time? I didn't read some leak. I went on this article and it was like, yeah I'm going to spoil like shit in Infinity War now. And like, you guys are going to be like, oh, I can't believe you're spoiling stuff, but you're going to keep reading this article because you want it. And I'm like, you're right, I do want it.
I don't
And
want
I read
it.
it on Monday.
I don't
knew
want
what
it.
happened in Infinity War Monday. But like, that was different because who gives a shit? It's just like, Thor got a new hammer and they do the snap. I'm like, okay, so it was like they did the snap and that's kind of all that matters. So it wasn't a big deal. Endgame, bigger deal for me. I'm not going to go seek it out, but maybe I should take it into my own hands because I am seeing it on Friday. I think I'm fucked.
You can make it.
I'm seeing it 7 p.m. Friday.
Don't rob yourself of that experience.
You kind of want to isolate yourself. That
Make a
Friday.
game out of it.
I'll
Make
be
a game of
honest.
not finding them out.
But that just means I don't go
Live
on
on
Twitter.
the edge.
Maybe you're right. Like,
You can go a day without Twitter. You went 13 years of your life without Twitter.
you went your whole life without heroin, Brian. I'm
when
hooked now, Zach.
That's how it works.
We got jokes on the content cube.
Maybe-
Disclaimer: Brian is not actually addicted to the heroin,
I don't even know what heroin looks like.
to the black tar.
Does
as
heroin
they
have?
say.
It's black. Does
I don't
heroin have
know.
a
I've
color?
heard it referred to as black
I
tar.
don't
What
know.
color is it when you inject it in?
Let's
Rainbow.
Google. I'll Google search it.
Okay,
But what are we talking about? What's
maybe
next?
the way I'll avoid spoilers is by playing Sekiro all day and slamming my phone on the ground.
What do you think of it, Brian?
I think it's my favorite From Software game. The people that made Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Cookies and Cream, a great puzzle game on the PS2.
When it's
Love
in
puzzles.
heroin is in powder form white, and when in injecting form is like a yellowish brown.
Okay, I kind of picked.
So now you know, listeners at home.
If you
Someone
see
offers
it-
you a syringe with a yellow and brown liquid, don't inject it.
You
into
say
yourself.
Other
no.
colors?
Safe colors.
Yeah.
We gotta
Clear, it's probably just water.
I think isn't that bad for you if you put it in your veins?
Could be worse. We
Yeah.
used to do that. For my was it water? What did we do? My dog had diabetes. We had to give her diabetes shots,
Oh.
but there was like a practice thing we could do, so we didn't fucking inject her or diabetes just spray it all over her skin, which I think I've done
spray
before.
all over his skin.
Okay, yeah. So what do you? I think Sekiro is my favorite From Software game.
What have you played from Stuff Ice?
I played Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne. I didn't finish either.
Okay,
of them.
so I
got pretty
read
far.
your games list that
Yeah.
you did for E23, and I agree and disagree. I agree that yes, I think it's definitely the most accessible in terms of like it's
Yeah.
very light in the RPG elements.
Yeah, it's
but
hard, but like
Bloodborne is also very light in the RPG elements, and
It's-
also it's honestly I think the gameplay itself is easier to understand because it's just dodge and attack.
yeah,
Like
but
that's all you have to know.
that felt less cool to me. And like
That's
in
true.
Bloodborne, there was stuff where it's like, oh, I've spec'd myself in this way, and there's this item I want, and I can't use it.
That is true.
Because that's
But
already
I'm
done.
digging Sekiro. I'm only,
Yeah.
I want to say I've played like 8 hours, but I've only beat the first boss.
You fought the horse fucker.
Yeah.
Hate that guy.
Is that the dude who rides the horse?
He's a guy on a horse.
Yeah. Very hard. He jumps really high. The horse jumps like 8 feet in the air.
Zach, this
and he
horse-
just jumps on you.
Jake, you
has
know
it-
I love horses when they jump.
Zach, this horse has an 8-foot vertical.
It's insane.
Wow, that's almost as high as mine. That's incredible.
Well, so wait, Zach, I'll ask you a question because I know you're looking around the room like, what the hell are they
Fuck
talking
you, Zach.
about?
You guys talked about Game of Thrones for like 50 minutes, and I just
true.
sat here, and you're looking around like, what the fuck is this
So
shit?
how do you
Fuck this, I'm out.
do you know the concept of these games? In that the games are intentionally really, really hard.
What game are we talking about?
Sekiro, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. These games
sounds
are
familiar.
These games are built to beat you down. You're supposed to lose
Do they have
over and over.
dragons?
Yeah.
Yes.
one of
Then
them
I
does.
do know what you're talking
You're
about.
supposed to like be perfect at these games.
Yeah.
Does that at all appeal to you? The idea of like spending 2 hours on one boss to lose over and over and over until you perfect it.
Do you want
Well,
to master
as
the
you
blade?
guys know
Do you want a
from my
masochistic game?
E23 segments and material, I'm a perfectionist. I accept nothing less than perfection.
Yeah.
So that kind of game seems like it'd be right up my alley.
Cuphead on the Switch comes out tomorrow. Buy it.
If you think
It
you'd
is
like
that-
Zach.
Well, I
It's
didn't,
a-
I didn't say I'd do that. but
It's $20. It's my favorite
that
game
sounds like
I've played
dirty
this year.
computer Janelle Monáe vinyl money. That's kind of what that sounded like.
Buy Cuphead, you'll love it.
there-
It's really cool. Look it up later.
I just got past this part in Sekiro that I fucking hated.
I saw your
You
tweet
fight
or your thing.
you fight a bowl, and it
A
doesn't
bowl?
have. It's just a bowl, Zach. It's
Hey.
just a bowl, Jake. And it doesn't have a sword like everyone else. So
Yeah,
it just kind of feels like shit.
When enemies who don't have weapons, but you can still parry them, that just confuses my mind.
Oh, you can't parry the balls.
Oh, you can't?
You can't parry the
So
balls.
it's just a dodge and jump and block?
It's bullshit. It's a really bad fight.
We'll see when I get there.
PS5 stuff, man.
Hey,
Zach.
Okay.
You have a PS4. What
Yes.
if it became
Did you hear
irrelevant?
about this?
Yeah, I did. It came across my Twitter feed.
It doesn't become irrelevant, though. That's the thing.
PS4, no, it's going to have full backwards
Now,
compatibility.
here's my question.
I'm fine with that.
Am I gonna have to buy a PS5 to play Last of Us 2?
No.
No.
Really?
Last of
It's
Us
been
2,
confirmed that's on PS4
Last
and
of Us,
PS.
it'll
most likely
probably
on
be.
PS5.
I mean, everything will be on PS5, and it'll probably look better on PS5.
But you don't need
I
it.
might just fuck around and get that because I want the best possible Last of Us 2.
It's going to
Then
probably
you'll
run
want a
4K.
PS5.
It's probably going to run like 4K 60 on PS5.
Yeah, you'll
That's what I
want
would
if you want to play it visually the best, you want to play it on PS5. But like,
There are just so many PS4 games I still need to play.
But
Like
no,
God of
here's
War
the
and
thing.
Spider-Man.
PS5 fully backwards compatible.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
you can sell
All the
your
games you
PS4.
have now, they'll work on PS5.
I can probably play 4K disc too, right?
Yeah.
4K
yes.
movies.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing about this whole.
It's capable of 8K, so 8K Blu-rays, it'll be able to play.
Is that
those.
even a thing?
It will be at some point.
in like not in
Oh my
relevant time.
goodness.
But what I find weird is
We'll be
like
dead by then.
these are all specs,
Wow,
so I
yeah.
get why they don't fit really anywhere else, and like no one wants them in a weird blip in the announcement. But like, why a Wired article and why on a Tuesday morning and why here? Why now?
What
It's
are they
just
doing,
weird.
Jake?
I don't
The
understand.
name, the price, why
Well,
they
I
did
get
this.
why they didn't do that because that's all stuff people actually care about. But like the load
name?
times is cool. I think
We don't even know the
like
name.
playing a game like
Is it not the PS5?
Like the thing, no, Zach, this was super weird. This would be like this would be like someone doing an interview. It's like, oh yeah, the next Avengers movie is going to be great. Like these characters are in it, and it's like, what's it called? When's it coming out? It's like, oh, we don't know. We just know. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying-
it's like that. Like they don't give a name, they don't give a title. They just did an interview. It's like, oh yeah, the next PlayStation's going to have like these specs. It'll like be this and this. It's super.
which is really big news if you really care about games because one, it's the first like dead set. This is how close we are because he said it's not 2019, so it means it's 2020. And like it said like how good the graphics processor will be. The loading times is cool.
Like a thing they did that like was good for my dumb brain was that like for Spider-Man it's like, oh yeah, fast travel load time on Spider-Man on PS4 is like 15 seconds on the next PlayStation. It's 0.5. It's like 0.8,
Yeah.
which is something I can wrap my mind around.
I'm just hoping PlayStation isn't a dumbass and they're not PlayStation 3 PlayStation, but PlayStation 4 PlayStation. Because if they come out and say this thing is any more than $500, they are going to lose this console war again. Like, honestly,
What do you mean again?
they lost for PS. Well, they ended up winning.
Yeah, I was saying, didn't
somehow.
I just see a list of like most
somehow
consoles sold?
it's-
PS4 had Xbox One
No,
beaten by
not
like
PS4, Xbox One.
PS4
PS3,
slaughtered.
PS3, Xbox
Yeah,
360.
PS3 actually
Oh.
beat Xbox 360 in the end. They ended up selling more.
Yeah.
But in
I
terms
feel
of
like the whole
in terms of
area.
like actual game software, I think Xbox 360 won. It won third party games because it got the Call of Duty exclusivity. It got more third party games
that
as well.
Call of Duty
I
exclusivity.
mean, so like Call of Duty maps and all that used to be
okay.
Xbox early, but now PlayStation has that.
Basically, basically the 360 rocked everyone's shit. So Microsoft was really cocky and they fucked it up, and everyone hated the Xbox.
I've always been,
But then
my family's always been PlayStation. We had a
That's
PlayStation, a PS2, a PS3.
That's what worries me is
PS4.
it's been going in this cycle where like PS2 was fantastic, sold the still most consoles to date. PlayStation said, "Oh my god, we're hot shit." They if you don't know this, they came out at the conference and said, "Yeah, the PS3 costs $600." They said on stage, "You might want to get another job to buy this thing." That was their promotion for the system. Was you need to get another
People
job.
will get second jobs though, and you know people didn't buy it.
I remember the first game. My brother was so excited the day he brought home his beautiful baby PS3.
Yeah.
He got Resistance,
yeah.
Fall of Man.
Yeah.
It's an alien game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
was
like
so
Xbox 360,
so
yeah,
fun.
Xbox 360 won that because PS3 goofed the price, and then PS4 won because Xbox was all, we're hot shit now. We can do what we want. You get the fucking Kinect even though you don't want it. $500. PlayStation won because they underpriced Xbox by $100. So if PS5 comes out and overprices Xbox and does even $50 more, Xbox will win.
I hope they fuck it up.
I don't think they will.
Didn't the Wii beat them both?
Yeah,
The
I do.
Nintendo Wii?
I think the Wii beat
Yes
the
and
PS4.
no.
Riding the
It
hype
has
of
right
Super
now.
Mario Galaxy and Mario Kart, two all timers.
Fantastic.
It doesn't matter because PlayStation, Xbox group fucked the Wii U. Actually, Nintendo just fucked itself.
I didn't even know that the Wii U was out until a year and a half later. Someone said, "Hey, I have a Wii U." I said, "What?" And they said, "Yeah, I got it a year and a half ago."
The Switch beat the Wii U in like less than a year in terms of like
Yeah,
lifetime
no shit. 'Cause I
sales.
actually heard about the Switch.
The Wii U is
Lost to history. Fuck the Wii U.
It's just fascinating that they thought that was going to work.
What else happened this week?
final video game thing. Final one, Zach. I promise. And maybe you can relate to this. You're a PS3 guy, right?
I have one.
So you know what Little Big Planet is?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know how people would like fuck around? It's like, oh, I made a calculator. I made Minecraft in Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like they'd fuck around?
I never did it myself, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah, like they make calculators, they make computers. Well, that studio, Media Molecules, just came out with another game. It's in like early access. It's not done, but you can buy it on PS4. Where they're basically embracing it, and it's like, oh, we made it so you can build a calculator easier.
Oh
like,
my goodness.
It's called Dreams, and I'm like, it's crazy. Like I played it last night. I was just like going through a bunch of different things that people made, and like one of them was like a first-person shooter, and like it wasn't like amazing, but it had like reload animations. It had like different guns.
It's
it had
basically like baby's first make your own game.
yeah, it was
Like
fucking.
you can make any type of game you want.
I love it.
It's really cool. Like people like
Ship it. Sold.
Someone made like an RPG. Someone made like and like you can make
Babies making RPGs. Let me buy stock in this game.
That's called Pokemon. It's baby's first RPG.
but like it was really interesting because you can just make like, assets and music for that game and like you'll be credited in other people's
Yeah.
creations.
It's so if you don't, because it seems like you haven't heard of this. You basically like like someone remade. Have you heard of PT? That small demo on PS4 horror demo now. Have you heard of Legend of Zelda?
I have.
So one person remade the opening to Ocarina of Time, and you can also
That's a good one.
recreated the music, like, and then you can share. So let's say I made this Link action dude that moves. You can just like export that asset out and say this is my Zelda, and like, oh, I want to make a game, but this is a cool character, I can use theirs. So like, it's not just the whole thing. Like, it's every specific thing you make you can give to other people. So their idea is the more people that join this community, the more like basically by the game you're gonna get both the creator stuff and you can play all these people's games.
There's not a lot going on right now, but I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm very fascinated with it. Zach, Game of Thrones article. It's out.
Yeah,
How does
guys.
it feel to have such a monolithic?
I think
It was
Oh, I
long.
can't talk about that.
What?
Never mind.
It was a
gonna say
little
something.
bit
Say
long.
what?
I was gonna talk about something, but I think we're gonna get to that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
don't know. The
So
premiere?
No, I'm gonna talk about why something that Zach achieved recently and
Oh.
why I think he achieved that.
Yeah.
manhood, guys. In
Okay.
there.
Because of biology.
Biology.
You wrote a very long article.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah. Well, my editor, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I originally pitched it as
Yeah.
like a top 10 Game of Thrones episodes
Ooh, how did
article.
he take it?
He was a big fan of the top 10 idea, to say the least.
I know, but how
As
did
I started going through the selection process, there were just so many moments that I needed to acknowledge in the show. So the top 10 matured, went through its growing pains, as all great things
Yeah.
do. And
But then
it
you
settled
showed-
in nicely around the top 30. Game
Sometimes
of
when
Thrones
I'm in
articles.
growing pains, I just add 20 more of what I was doing.
Zach, how
grew.
many episodes of Game of Thrones were there? when you're
Okay,
writing this article?
going into season 8, which has now aired one episode, I wrote this article before that episode aired. There were 67 episodes.
You
Can
should have
I-
gone all the way.
Can I ask what your top 3 were? I will read the article eventually, but
The
I
top
want to know.
3.
Or if you don't
just
want to
going by
spoil
episode-
it,
You don't want to
episode-
spoil it?
you can leave it for the.
Tell you what, I'll do
if it's
4
too
through 2.
That's
Sure,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
do
leave
it.
number 1.
Blackwater at 4. It's a
Oh,
season
interesting.
2 big action set piece towards the end of that season. Episode 3 is the infamous Reigns of Castamere Bryan, also known as the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
And then episode 2 is the very famous Battle of the Bastards.
hmm
Okay, fair pick.
If you want to see number 1, where can people see that, Zach?
My Twitter, I have it posted.
It is
Or
posted on
mutv.missouri.edu.
He did it, folks.
Ooh.
I get
That
made
is-
fun of on E23 for not being able to do that, so living proof
Right.
right
Also,
here.
my Twitter is Zach Hohenstein 1.
Go
you
read
guys-
it.
Yeah.
Go
I'm,
read it.
I'm proud of my boy,
I'm very
Zach.
proud of my boy, Zach.
He wrote a very long article and put
And
a
you're
lot of
about to
effort
write
into it.
another long one.
Guys, I'm going to top it. John doesn't know yet, but I'm gonna set an MUTV record with the length to my MCU ranking.
What is it at right now?
John talked to me
John
today.
actually does he listen to
John
this?
talked to me
Really?
today.
He listens to it.
Oh, well, give him a
He
nice.
talked to me today, and he said, "You know what? I like your article, Zach. It was good. I was proud of the touches I put on, and I agreed. He made it look very professional.
Yeah.
I was really happy to show it to my friends because of how professional looking it
Yeah.
looked. It made me look professional because of the work John put in. I loved it.
Yeah.
And he ended this talk with, "That was long as shit, though. should never have made it top 30, top 10 maybe."
Wait, how many pages did it end about with pictures?
Well, with pictures, I ended up trying to put one episode per page, and I didn't fill up the whole page with them.
So it's like 28.
Something like that.
So
And
what
the
is the
pages weren't
Marvel?
filled up either. There were a lot of bullet points.
What is the Marvel one at?
I haven't started writing the Marvel one yet. I have 3 movies left to watch, and I'm going to knock
Don't you
it
have
out
to
this
have this
weekend.
10
out
days.
before?
Probably have to turn in my draft by Tuesday, I'd assume.
10 days, boy.
I have like 3 more MCU movies to watch. I'll knock them out.
You don't have 10 days. You have a week.
No, it's 10 days.
No, it's
It's the 24th.
I'm seeing it on Thursday.
Okay, shit.
Yes.
So I'm
week and
turning
an hour.
my hope is to turn in the draft Tuesday morning, which would hope that 2 days of editing, if that works, maybe has it out that Thursday afternoon. That's the hope. Maybe I won't make the longest ever now that I'm talking through it. Maybe I'll make something a little more palatable for John to dive into. See, my Game of Thrones article, it ended up being longer looking because I included key quotes from every episode and key moments, bullet pointed key moments, and then I would have like a paragraph.
That's good shit.
Right. I was excited about it. Equally excited about this MCU one because as much as people love Game of Thrones, and there's a lot to dive into with Game of Thrones, Endgame's even bigger. It's going to be even bigger. So hopefully this one gets even more of a reaction.
Speaking of big cultural events, I don't know if I was talking to you guys about this or other people. This year is the end of the 3 biggest pop culture things in honesty.
Oh, Jake, I have been talking
Game of
about
Thrones,
this.
Star Wars, and Avengers.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the end of the Skywalker trilogy, or Skywalker
And now while
movies,
they-
end of Avengers, and end of.
Well, all
Game of
3
Thrones.
go on in
It's-
different forms, as in there's another spin-off Game of Thrones series that goes into production this summer. Other Star Wars spin-offs, and obviously the MCU continues. It's
MCU's
just-
not really even ending.
Not that this
well,
is
this is the end of this
Not
story.
that this is the peak of Star Wars, but it is like obviously going to be the peak of Game of Thrones in the MCU movies.
I mean, let me ask you an honest question. I have no doubt that right now in this moment, Disney believes this is the last Star Wars episode. How long do they resist episode 10, 11, 12?
Oh,
they don't do them. And I
Really?
say this because I do think, here's the thing. So Star Wars, I say this because those episodes, these new movies were predicated off the fact that we can bring back these classic actors that people are nostalgic for. People like Rey, Finn, and Poe, but they're not pulling people in. Let's be honest.
Give them time. Give them time.
Yes, maybe like how many years from now?
There's a big underground Poe Dameron.
What is that?
following.
When did the
Poe
original
fandom.
movie? When did the original movie come out?
The
A New
original
Hope.
Star Wars?
Yes, A New Hope.
77.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe 30 years from now.
Ask me another.
Maybe,
I gotta write that
maybe
article.
30 years from now they'll bring them back. But that's what I mean. Like it will be a long time if they ever bring them back. I think
So 30 years, can I quote you on that? Because that was the question.
Sure.
How long?
If they do, I don't think they'll bring them back. But if they do, it'd be like 40 years from now.
Bring back 3PO. Have Anthony Daniels
But I-
record every word in the English dictionary so that he can remain in character.
I do honestly
forever.
think that the Game of Thrones people or Ryan Johnson's trilogy would be successful enough that they
People
will
hate Ryan Johnson. I don't hate him.
people
As Ryan Johnson himself knows, I
liked
don't
your
hate him.
tweet.
I liked his movie. He liked my tweet. It's a fair trade-off.
I think the people that are very vocal about Last Jedi is a lot smaller than it appears. I think a lot more people like that movie than the internet. The people who feel the need to go on the internet to voice their opinion about Star Wars is not huge compared to the people who go and see the movies
and liked it and didn't
Yes.
feel the need
to say anything positive.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a strong amount of people who thought it was,
Good.
dare I say it, good. Brian.
Yeah.
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 I would say-
But there is a strong hatred that came from
The
that
amount
movie.
of people that hated it and also thought it was one of the best Star Wars movies of all time, I think, are equal. I think there's just a lot
And
of people
I'm right
in between
there
that
in the
think
middle.
it's good. Yeah,
I'm existing right there in
I'm
that middle.
more towards the it's better.
Oh, I definitely
side.
like it. Oh yeah, yeah. It's just
But we got
it's got flaws. I'm not gonna deny it. It's got a couple key flaws.
Zach.
But
Back.
Oh, you go.
My
We doing The Last Jedi
My
one right
segue's
now?
so
No, I was gonna say Game of Thrones. What'd you think of the?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the episode?
Spoiler free. Like where
Spoiler
does this
free,
one? Where
okay.
does this one rank?
because I
on
have a
your
lot
list?
of. If I were to go back, as I know John wants me to do,
Yeah.
and add another episode for him to edit,
Or 30 to just complete the list out.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have made my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So that'd been like 30 to 35, maybe. Here's the thing with how I feel about where Game of Thrones is currently. Actually, I mean,
Spoiler free.
spoiler
Yeah,
free.
Spoiler free.
Spoiler
listeners.
free. What made Game of Thrones seasons 1 through probably 4. I'd say seasons 3 and 4 are the golden age of Game of Thrones. Mainly because they had gained enough of a following to where they could pull off big action moments, but they didn't get lost in like the spectacle of it, as in it's not just bang, 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 big event, get my characters from A to B no matter what it takes, because we need them there for that big explosion, like, which is what the show is now, which is undeniably fun to watch.
I will give them this. I agree. I think it is hurts the show more than it helps it because they're moving so quickly. But the show has earned it. It is built
Still
to this,
very fun.
It is built to this end game. It has earned moving this quickly.
Now here, you could say, okay, we don't need to develop characters anymore, Zach. Said D.B. Weiss and whatever the other guy's name is, Benioff. Because we spent 6 seasons giving you those character moments, those character moments that make the show so good, because they go along with the big moments. So now it's just big moments, and the dialogue between characters isn't really in-depth dialogue. I was talking with my brother about this. We realized pretty much every reunion between people in this most recent episode, because there's a lot of reunions.
It's the reunion episode.
It's pretty much, there's not really, they kind of gloss over everything to get to the one thing they want to say, and they all get one scene each.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean,
everything feels rushed.
Yeah. They do like 5. There's like 5 big reunions, and each one you get like the minimal amount to feel satisfied.
And each conversation feels like what you missed on Game of Thrones. Like, hey, if you didn't remember when these two were last together, that's the first thing they're gonna say to each other.
It's
like, hey, we last saw each other then.
Yeah.
This happened, and that's it.
But for how down he sounds and down,
Oh no,
because I
okay.
agree with most of that.
I do like the episode. I still love
the
Game of Thrones.
reunions are great. It has to do set up for what's about to come. It's kind of like here's the last episode of them not in war.
It's
like
it is set up, and there are cool moments. You just wish that they had spread it out more and been smart about it, because you have characters, and it's who's suffering from this shortened season, the side characters. Because the big characters like Jon Snow and Daenerys are going to get their moments.
Yeah.
They're going to get their conversations. And like Sansa, Arya. It's characters like Jorah Mormont, who had
Bronn
2 lines this past episode.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets more than 3 each episode from now on.
And
He's a character that seasons 1 through 4, actually seasons 1 through 5, honestly.
Oh yeah, 5 is his big season.
Right. Seasons 1 through 5, he's a very big character, and actually has a lot to say. Has a big part in all of it. Now he only serves the role as I'm the companion to the queen.
I think
he
also
doesn't really do anything.
At least for some characters, you have to think of he had his big storyline in season 5. Like every side character kind of has their season, and then they kind of move kind of to the background. But I get budget wise, that's why it's a 6-episode season. Is it cost so much to make these episodes, especially how much they've upped their budget? But example, if it would have been 10 episodes, they could have spent 2 episodes doing these reunions, and they all would have been much better.
Yes, I feel like at the very least, if season 7 and season 8, which are 7 episodes, 6 episodes, or both 8 episodes, that would have been fine.
It would have fixed a little problem.
It would have made more sense. The show would have been better off for it. And while I do say season 3 and 4 are the best Game of Thrones seasons, if you take the trade-off between these smaller character moments for the big moments that you're getting now, you'd be like, oh, the show's about the same quality, because it got worse in some areas, got better in others.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating because it could have been
both.
could have been both. If they had just let themselves have a couple more episodes, it would have been perfect. Right now, as it is, it's great.
Yeah.
Very fun show to watch.
Jake,
But
what do you think?
I agree. I agree with everything you said. I think more episodes definitely would have benefited the show. It sucks because, like you said, if this show is one of the few shows that I'm watching, like they could have done 9 seasons, 10 episodes each season, and I don't think it would have ever gotten worse. Like I think this show would have stayed consistently as great as it is, and they could have built on those character moments and built on the action. Because up until season 7, it really is like basically political drama, character development for 8 episodes or 7, and then like 2 big action sequences and the season finale. In season 7 is like character development 1 episode, action, which is fine, like I said, because they earned it because they've done 6 seasons of building to this great war. We're finally here. It makes sense. It just feels so weird when you've come from so much character development.
it feels different.
It's a different show.
Honestly, feel different. Like no spoilers here, but I was talking to my brother about this. Tyrion was the little person, like he's got
something cooking.
I hope it's not what some people think it is.
Because
that would be so out of character.
I think there'll be
a little close.
Okay, let's stop.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. It's a theory. Yeah. There's nothing confirmed about what this isn't a spoiler. We can say this.
I mean, no, a theory is built on. I'm talking about like people that are like trying to catch up now. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Put it simply, Tyrion used to be very clever, very smart, very fun, impressive person on the show. It seems like the past couple seasons he's kind of been almost outsmarted by everyone, but not in a cool character development way, in like a lazy writing type of way.
Just like I've kind of gotten tired and given up.
Like if you saw it, you know how I describe it? Not nearly as bad as this. It's not, Tyrion is not sunk to this level, but you know how clever Jack Sparrow is in like the first movie or so and the second one of the Pirates films? This 5th one that came out this past year, so bad. It was the worst movie I saw all year. But the saddest part about it is that they made Jack Sparrow like dumb. Like they made, instead of him always having like a plan to get out of something, his role, Johnny Depp's role in this movie was to react to things and talk in a high voice and like panic until someone gets him out of it. Like he was just played for laughs instead of actually being a clever, fun character. And it was honestly like watching a loved one die. I'm not saying that's how bad Tyrion is now, because I still think he's still enjoyable enough, just not nearly as enjoyable as he was.
That's a perfect cut.
Tyrion hit his peak in season 4.
Yeah.
Season 2 through 4, Tyrion is what made the show, and since then he's been on a slow descent of insignificance.
I think each character has their moment. I think, for example, Tyrion fades away more in season 4, and Sansa
4
gets
is
more
a pretty big season for Tyrion.
After season 4. Yeah, and Sansa, like every character gets their moment, and we've kind of reached a point where now this is Daenerys and Jon. That's
right.
Where we're at.
I mean, that's what they were always going to come down to, and we all kind of knew that. It's just disappointing that since they cut this time short, that they had to cut it down to like 2 main characters instead of having like this deep lineup of like cool, in-depth characters.
All right. So executives are not announced yet, but I got the clear to talk about it for the show because this is going up after the show. For all you listeners at home, E23 had 4 executive positions open this year, and 1 position that no one really knew.
A mudblood, if you will. a half executive.
I don't know what it was. It's, it was a little unclear about what it was. So
it's kind of like when you get, like your dog has 5 puppies, but one of the puppies only has 3 legs.
And the puppy isn't allowed in the meetings.
Yeah, the puppy has to live in a separate cage or house from the other puppies.
So we interviewed for that on Sunday, and they will be the people running. This is under E23, so they will be the people running E23 next year. And all those are out. Zach, what are you?
Oh, we're actually doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. This is going up after Thursday.
I am the heir apparent to the great John Messer.
Yeah.
As digital director of E23 next year.
Yeah, and what does that mean? You'll be
Can't wait to find out what it means.
You'll be heading.
I have no clue what I'm doing.
So I am in charge of putting together stuff from the show, posting it online, as well as deciding what articles and videos get pitched out to be posted directly to the MUTV E23 website.
Yeah.
And I will also be making edits on those articles.
Yeah.
So that's my basic role.
Yeah. You'll also be editing video. With
Yes.
with the help of the assistant editor.
That's what I was led to
Which
believe.
is kind of up in the air now. I don't know. I think they have an idea. And Jake, what are you?
I am executive producer, which is heir to Josie's position, which is basically I get to be on the show floor and tell people what to do and what not to do, edit the scripts, and control what segments are.
So pretty much it seems like all the other executives are in the tech room.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. That's what it used to be. Now I think the tech room and the video room.
The
are
tech
all
room
over.
does not exist.
Yeah. Next year.
We
the
just
tech
saw
room
our new space today, viewers. We're
Yeah.
going to be moving next year.
We got
The walls are curved.
But good news, viewers. This is huge for us. Turns out, I don't know if this has been a thing the whole time, or if this is just a thing next year. But I guess we're gonna be able to use KCOU, the radio studio's recording
Big development.
space. Big development for us. I don't know if you remember, but we are recording out of the Discovery
Humbly
study room.
recording. Humbly coming at you here.
One microphone. It's pretty brutal, but that's going to be huge for us. And me, I did not get a physician.
I don't.
This,
You know what? Jake, you know what I think we should do? We should make Brian Content Cube executive.
I was thinking about pitching. I was thinking about soft pitching that. But the thing that my fantasy draft picks for the E23 executive positions would have been 100% correct if I knew that there was an option for someone to just not pitch for anything.
How much are we allowed to talk about it here? Because I have a genuine question for you.
Ask me later.
Okay.
So that's our status next year. What this means for the Content Cube is probably mostly good, all things considered. So look forward to that, folks.
I'm Julius Caesar now. What gets posted online?
Yeah, you can.
I'll be able to make the final call
You're
for
gonna
the
get-
fate of the Content Cube.
Doesn't that mean you die? Like we poison you and kill you? Isn't that what happens to him?
He gets stabbed.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess
Does he
I'm
not get
confused.
poisoned?
I don't know. Someone gets poisoned in some shape.
I think that was Jesus.
Mark
Um,
Antony might have gotten. He got
I
snake
don't know.
poison.
There's a lot that happens in this.
Yeah, he got
I
bit
don't-
by a poisonous snake.
Fuck Shakespeare. We don't need to talk about it.
I think that was history, actual history. Mark
I don't
Antony.
care. It's all the same to me.
I think that's actually happened.
I don't think so. I think it
I
was.
think Julius Caesar was also
I
actually
think
killed.
Batman wrote it.
Okay, let's move on to recommendations.
What a silly guy
Let's
we got
close
over
out this show. Recommendation rectangle time.
Let me
baby.
start. Let me
You-
start.
oh,
Let's
okay.
start.
We
Let
have
me
a-
jump right in.
Okay, go.
What I've been using to nap lately,
Mhm.
I, upon coincidence, stumbled onto it. I didn't know how I do it. Don't ask me how I found it. I really don't know. It's called Rockabye Baby, and they just release lullaby versions, like instrumentals, peaceful instrumentals of all your favorite artists ever.
Do you want me to say something about this? Because I actually have a lot to say. I work at a place called Little Guppy in St. Charles,
Yeah.
where I have,
Sounds
to,
about right.
I have to sit in the toddlers' rooms while they nap. And they play this exact music. You are listening to what 3-year-olds listen to when they nap. Is Kanye West one of them? Because
Yes.
how many times I've listened to any song off of 808s and Heartbreaks in lullaby form over
That's
and over
most of
for
them on
2
the Kanye
hours?
one.
Yep, 2 hours.
You want to
of
hear the
just-
most recent album is? The most recent one they released?
You play a little.
No, I don't know if the quality can hold up.
I
you
don't
put it
know.
up
I
against the
feel
mic,
like
put it
I
up
feel
against the
like
mic.
good.
Don't
it
put
up
it up
against
too
it.
close.
Yeah.
All right, let me
Don't-
find a really recognizable one.
And don't
here.
turn it up too loud.
Yeah.
But this is what I sit through in the summer. Imagine Dragons was quite popular as well.
This is Drake's In My Feelings. You hear it, don't you, Brian?
Can we hear Hotline Bling?
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian, I'm out like a light. Like a light, Brian. No Drake pun intended, but
This is Zach's sexy time music too.
this is... Actually, joke with help. Joke redacted on that one.
Okay, I like your recommendation. I'm a big
This
fan.
was
Yeah,
actually-
and guys,
this
they
was the
got
strongest
everything.
one yet.
They got Drake, they got Tom Petty, Lady Gaga, Beastie Boys, Bruno Mars, Led Zeppelin, Beatles.
This was the strongest recommendation yet for you, Zach, I think. This was very unique.
They got Brian's favorite band, Nickelback, on here.
That's my favorite. All right,
Am
Jake,
I
you up?
next?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the music recommendation going, but different. I'm gonna
Hope
play.
so.
I'm gonna play two little samples, so you can decide right now if you have any interest in this type of music. Pups, Morbid Stuff. They are a pop punk band.
I'm sold.
And I honestly didn't think I'd love it as much as I did, and then I just absolutely adored it. So here is the fourth song from Morbid Stuff, See You at Your Funeral.
We allowed to sell this song, Brian.
I don't think we're selling
Can we
it.
reuse this commercially, Jake?
So that's one album. It's really depressing lyrics. That song is about he basically is talking about his ex-girlfriend, and this is the final part. He goes, I hope I never see you again, and if I do, it's at
You know
your
what?
funeral.
Yeah.
Or better yet, I hope the world explodes. I hope that we all die. We can watch the highlights in hell. I hope they're televised.
That's
So,
some retro Panic at the Disco
that's-
type
Don't
material.
play another one. I'm actually afraid of Content ID here.
Okay. I think you're fine to play like short snippets of songs.
Okay, I think it has to be under 10 seconds.
Yes, I think it does.
I was playing In My Feelings for a while there.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
think
know
I don't
that
think the
one.
lullaby version. And then Kevin Abstract, lead person of Brockhampton, keeps releasing these. He keeps adding 3 songs to his album every week. So he released another 3 songs.
I
Here's
hate that. I
a
just
very
wish he just
very
released the
short
album.
snippet of one of the ones from last week that is really good. So there you go. There is a short sample of 2 very good albums that are out. That is Ghetto Baby, Kevin Abstract, and Morbid Stuff by Pup. What about
It's
you,
a
Brian?
good. I guess it's a music recommendation week. Man,
Brian's about to hit us with a
You got some
with a book
tunes?
or something.
Oh no,
I don't really have anything going on. I
Really?
couldn't think of a recommendation.
that's the only like content I've been consuming. I haven't really had time for any movies or TV right now.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is
Recommend Game of
happening.
Thrones.
I recommend Game of Thrones. I heard there's really good 30 episodes and like 38 of them are just complete dog shit, apparently. They didn't even make Zach's list.
No, they didn't.
So they must just be terrible. I suggest being kind to people. Once again, second week in a row. Sometimes you need that reminder. It's not hard to not be an asshole. You know what I mean? So just be kind out there. Love your loved ones, folks.
Oh, I do.
And look up Black Clover openings compilation on YouTube. I think they're all kind of bangers in their own way. Have a good week. It's been a Content Cube.